Okay, walking the streets of Ljubljana. Got here last night. Actually, got some sleep on the flight from Toronto to London, and feeling pretty good actually. Looking forward to finding some records. First stop is the store that had some kind of mixed. It's called Big Nose. Had some mixed comments on Google Maps, but they seem to have the best used selection, and it also said online that there's some jazz albums, so let's go check it out now. So just had a nice dig in the Big Nose record shop. This strange name for a record shop. I'm not sure where that comes from exactly. Yeah, as you can see, they have a nice kind of DJ set up there. The store owner was super friendly, very chatty, and he had a bunch of boxes on the floor. So because in the bins, not very interesting. A lot of new stuff that the hipster kids would probably like, some rock, some indie, very small jazz selection. But so I was just flipping through, and I was taking a short video of some of the 45s, some of the Slovenian 45s that were kind of interesting. I'm not going to really buy any of that. I don't really collect 45s. But I was kind of shooting the video, for the channel and of the 45s, and the fellow comes over and is like, hey, I was feeling a little self-conscious. I thought, oh, maybe he doesn't like me to shoot my I just had my handheld in my video, but he's like, what are you looking for? And I said, oh, some jazz. He said, oh, actually come over here. So I finished my video, went over. He's got a bunch of boxes on the floor. They're not graded, they're not priced yet, but have a look through it. So pulls up a little chair for me, and so I start flipping through, and got some folks here. I gotta move. So start flipping through. Why don't I walk and talk? Sorry, some folks came sat next to me. So start flipping through, and found some good stuff. So sat there, checked them out on Discogs. Yeah, these are great finds, some good European finds. But mostly, I think what you find here in Slovenia is old Slovenian, I should say old Yugoslavian LPs. So it'd be interesting to know kind of what the quality of those LPs are. I suspect, who knows? But a lot of ECM. Anyway, so I'll take some more pictures here of beautiful capital Ljubljana of Slovenia. Really beautiful place, very small place. Not that many record stores, but the fellow at the nose shop, which apparently is a head shop too. Anyway, maybe there's some connection there. Anyway, he gave me a name for a couple other places. One place that I think I've already been to, which wasn't great. Here, have a look at the image here. And another place that he said is run by a Russian guy. So I'm going to go check out the Russian-owned record store around 4 o'clock, and I'll be back to report on that very soon. So I found some good LPs at the nose shop, and the owner was a super friendly guy, as I said before, and he recommended a couple places, one that I've been to already that wasn't so great, and then this shop here. So what's it called? Records Slow. It's gonna close in about half an hour, so I'm gonna run through there and I'll let you know what it's like. Hey everyone, so I'm back home. What a fabulous day. Really beautiful sunny day here at the end of September. My very first trip to Ljubljana, to Slovenia, here for a conference, so just had a little bit of time to walk around today. Really enjoyed myself. Highly recommend coming here. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. Record stores, they're limited, but I still had a great time. They're new stores for me, so it's always really interesting to check things out. So again, I went to 3 stores. The first one that I didn't talk about so much was Spin Vinyl. And that one was right by the river, really in kind of the old part of town. A very small store, a beautiful little store. It was mostly rock there. They had a small selection of jazz, only a couple used things, so I didn't spend too much time on that. But the Big Nose, where the big finds were. So let me show you, excuse me, where I got from the Big Nose, and then we'll talk about the last record store, Records Low. Okay, let's start. So I got three LPs. Here we go. So this is a really interesting one that I haven't seen around. This is actually a reissue. It's a German reissue from '78, but I think the original was from the early '70s. I'm going to say '72. Chick Corea, Rolf Kuhn and Joachim Kuhn. I just recently bought a Joachim Kuhn double live LP, free jazz, which has absolutely kicked my ass. So I thought I'd give this a whirl. A big Chick Corea fan. It's a very interesting, again, early '70s, very experimental, little bit of free jazz. Really hard to explain this kind of this style of jazz. But anyway, it's called Creaction, not creation. It's creation with a C in the middle. Creaction, I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, I highly recommend it. Really interesting. LP, again, a German reissue. This one wasn't too expensive. I think I talked the fellow down a little bit on Acanta. There we go. Sorry, let me get that in front of my eyes. So yeah, really looking forward to getting home and listening to that LP. Okay, the next one is a fairly well-known album from Tony Williams on Blue Note, of course. That's kind of originally it's a studio recording from 1965 on Blue Note. Rudy Van Gelder recorded that. There's a great back cover on that as well. So it's interesting to find this again on the bins on the floor. There wasn't a lot of Blue Note, a lot of interesting European stuff. So this kind of stood out. I don't have much in the way of Tony Williams, but this is a, as you can see, it's a Black B version from 1973, I'm going to say. There isn't an RVG stamp in there, but again, I find a lot of the early 70s white or Black B Blue Note to still be pretty decent quality-wise, sound-wise. So I thought I'd pick that up, and again, the fellow was really friendly on the price, which was interesting because, you know, it's an American LP here in Europe. And this was the find of the day, quite a rare album here by the Tomasz, see if I can pronounce that correctly, Tomasz Stanko and Edward Vesela Quartet. So I'm familiar with Edward Vesela, of course, but who is the drummer on this LP? Well, here, let me turn that around and show you. And it's making, I think, a little bit of a comeback in the free jazz circles. But this is quite a difficult live album to find. It's only put out in 1978 by a, let's see if you can see that. That's a very small print. I don't know if you can see that. But it's on Helicon, Helicon Records, Helicon Records from Poland. So I think from Warsaw. So I think this is the first Polish LP that I've ever bought. Let's have a look at the labels on that. This is in very nice shape. Again, very difficult to find. There we go. So I'm really excited about this one. I think online this is going for about 140 dollars and more. I did not pay that. Again, a very friendly owner who, the minute I walked in, said, "Hey, I'll give you some good prices," and he did. So wonderful day again. Wonderful day in Ljubljana. I think I might go back to Big Nose. I did, again, I asked for some recommendations, and the owner pointed me to Records Low. Again, I didn't find too much there. Well, in the regular jazz, there was like a rock jazz fusion, I think, bin. There are these interesting kind of bins that were on wheels that kind of pulled out, but that was interesting, but nothing in the bin was all that interesting. But he did have a rare collection of LPs right in front of the cash, of course. It was mixed, so there was a lot of kind of metal and thrash metal and rock. But there was some interesting stuff. There was a copy of an original German copy of the George Russell Sextet. That's the one with, as you can see here, with Don Cherry. I've seen other versions of this cover. Can't remember what he was asking. I think it was about 50 euros, which seemed a little high for me, so I left that one behind. The other one, this one here, is a Macedonian jazz rock fusion band called Den, and I was really fascinated by this. But anyway, I'm gonna stream that later tonight and see what that's about. But again, that was over 100 euros, so a little bit too heavy for my bank account for there. Anyway, I guess the biggest issue with Records Low was that they kind of failed my what's called the Deodata price test. Those of you who are subscribed to the channel may have seen my Deodata price test video where I take pictures of the Prelude LP, the famous, of course, green cover Prelude LP at stores around the world, just to kind of compare prices. I think, for me, that's a $10 LP every day of the week. So it's interesting to see, as was the case here, how much a store charges for that LP, and that's always kind of an index about what kind of prices that you're facing in this particular store. So anyway, interesting dig there. I didn't walk away with anything, but still had a great day. I hope you had a great time watching the video. Really enjoyed making it, and I might go back to Big Nose, so we'll see. Maybe there'll be an addendum. If not, make sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and stay tuned for my next video, which I'm hoping will be next week. Anyway, take care, everyone. Bye.